Which number is greater, 3/10 or 11/100? If you said 11/100, that's okay. Your entire life you've been programmed to think that a number with more digits is always bigger. But guess what? With decimals, that's not always true. Today I'm going to show you how to compare and order decimals in fraction form, which really just helps make sense of what's going on. But before we do that, I want to look at a model. So a lot of us said 11/100 was greater than 3/10 because it has more digits, and I get where you're coming from. But let's start with a model. When I shade 3/10, I'm going to shade in tenths. 1/10, 2/10, and 3/10. When I shade in 11/100, I can do it one of two ways. I can shade in 11 individual pieces, or I can shade in 1/10, which is 1 bar, and then 1/100, which is another bar. Either way, it's 11 tiny pieces. Now, looking at the shaded region, it's really obvious which one is more, right? 3/10 is more. And here's why. The secret is looking at these numbers in fraction form. We already know that 3/10 is the same as the fraction 3/10. And we know that 11/100 is the same as the fraction 11/100. It's hard to compare these because they don't have the same denominator. It's kind of like trying to compare apples and oranges. It's also like comparing decimals that don't have the same place name. The secret is we're going to change it so that they do have the same denominator. Instead of 3/10, we're going to change this to 30/100, which is equivalent to 3/10. But now we have the same denominator, and we can see that 30/100 is more than 11/100, which is why 3/10 is more than 11/100. Let's try one without the model, because we've already seen that modeling thousandths can be really messy. But using fraction form, we should be able to figure this out. Which is greater? 88/100. Let's write that as a fraction. Or 125/1000 as a fraction. You might already know just looking at these fractions, because one of them has a numerator and the denominator really close together, and one of them they're pretty far away. But it's hard to compare fractions for sure until we have the same denominator. So let's change this to 880,000ths. And now it's really clear that 88/100 is greater. Now let's try this with 3 fractions. Which of these 3 fractions is the greatest? We have 6. Which of these 3 decimals is the greatest? We are going to write them as fractions. We have 6/10, we have 92/100, and we have 606,000ths. Now, we can't really compare these until they all have a common denominator. So let's start with 92/100. If I make this out of thousandths, I have to add a 0 to the top as well. This becomes 920,000ths. What do I need to do to make this out of 1,000? It's a little trickier. If you said add 2 zeros to the bottom and 2 zeros to the top, you're absolutely right. So now these two ended up being very close, 600,000ths and 606,000ths. This one is slightly greater, but what's the biggest of all? 92/100 has the greatest value. By comparing these in fraction form, it really builds our understanding of what's happening with the different decimal numbers. Guess what, teachers? The packet I'm using in this video is completely free. Click the link below for your 8-page packet, which includes partner practice, 3 pages of independent practice, a challenge for your early finishers, and an exit quiz. Thank you for watching and happy teaching.